Hello, it's Alien Tosta, and today we're doing a rat tutorial. Hello, I'm back for another video, which I'm sorry, I said I would post a few videos, and I got really busy with tattooing. I had so many clients, which is a good thing, but that means I had less time to make videos and do other kind of art stuff. So I have my little mic today, so I hope the audio is good. Just because I tend to move a lot when I talk and like a fan going in and stuff, so this will help with that, hopefully. I'm in my studio right now to talk to you about many things. But first of all, welcome to this rat tutorial. If you've been following me on TikTok, Instagram, even on YouTube, you've seen me do rat tutorials before, so you know what's up. Basically, a rat tutorial is just me doing stuff for like the first time, or not really being an expert at doing something but still doing a tutorial about it and showing you how to do things, because if you're crafty you can accomplish anything. You don't need like a degree or whatever. And today I'm going to show you how to do glass engraving. I call it glass tattoos just because the whole process is so similar to tattooing, which you'll see soon. I'm not actually tattooing glass. I'm not putting ink in the glass. I'm engraving the glass. I have done some mirrors before. It's the first time doing it on a little frame, on the glass of a frame. It turned out really cute. Also, if you want to skip all the yapping, I have in the description the timestamps. You can just scroll on and go right to the tutorial. And the reason why I'm doing the glass engraving now is because we have a sidewalk sale with my tattoo studio, the whole street on St-Hubert in Montreal. There's a sidewalk sale from August 21st to August 24th. Today is the 20th, so I'm a bit late. I don't know when this video is going to come out. Hopefully it'll be tomorrow, Thursday 21st, but possibly on Friday. Anyways, come because it's really fun. We're doing free tattoo consultations all day. Tomorrow I'll be there from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. The other days I'll try to be there more around 12 till 7 probably. I think Sunday's gonna rain. I might skip Sunday, but I might be there. Never know. I'll put some updates probably in my stories on Instagram and maybe on TikTok too. As per the last sidewalk sale, I have paintings. Oh yeah, I was gonna do a video showing of watercolor paintings, how to like tutorial, but I filmed it very poorly, so you couldn't see anything. You could see like my shoulder and my hand and not the actual process. So I was like, scrap that video. The watercolors I've posted on Instagram, so you can see them there. They're still for sale during the sidewalk sale. So there's the watercolor paintings. I have 3 different designs that are from my flash. I have 11 by 17 poster. It's really cool. I have 2 types of 5 by 7 like prints. One is handmade, one is a digital art, and temporary tattoos. That was really popular, so get there before they're all gone. Temporary tattoos of different design of my flash again. It's very good for if you're scared of committing to something. Just put it on temporarily, take pictures and stuff, and you get used to it and kind of see if you want it in that placement or that design, that kind of thing. And a lot of people have been asking about temporary tattoos, weirdly, so I have some. I wanted to add a new product. I wanted to do t-shirts so bad, but I kind of ran out of time. If you saw on Instagram, I did like a poll to see which design people preferred. I got my answer, but I'm a bit too late to print them for the sidewalk sale. But in the future, I think I will print them. But I think they'll be pre-ordered though. Finally, I wanted my new product to be something cool, and I had practiced some engraving last winter, so I decided to take some of my flash and engrave it on a frame. So we'll see the process. We're gonna start with me on my iPad. I did this this tattoo years ago, and it was full color, so I took it and I put it in a new thing on Procreate, and I kind of modified it a little. Anyways, I'll explain it later.
And here are the designs that I wanted to do. As you saw, the tiger was in full color at first. It was a full color tattoo. I just turned off the saturation and took off the shadows just to have like the line work. I did fix some lines because any artist knows when it's an old drawing, you see some new imperfections to it and you kind of change it up. I made like 2 different sizes for the tiger just to fit the frame the best. I printed 2. And for the sparrows, it was from our last flash day. I wanted to engrave those as well, but there was problems with the stencil and the design was kind of too small to fit in the frame. So I think I'm going to use those for a mirror engraving. In the future, I'll do that. So it's just me retracing. Even though it was very recent, there's still some things I wanted to change to make it better for mirror engraving. And then you can see me do the shading in the tiger, because I always need a reference, especially on paper reference. That way when I'm at the shading part, it's easier. I can just look at my paper and do it properly. And here I am ready to print. It's very self-explanatory. I just airdropped from my iPad to my computer and then slid it onto my printing center. And obviously I have to move the stuff away from my printer because, you know, I'm an artist. I'm messy. I'm allowed to be, you know, if you're an artist, you're allowed to be messy too. So each design has 2 sizes and has a shading reference as well. And the frame I got for this project was just a regular 4x6 frame. It's pretty standard for pictures. It has a little standing thing in the back. That way you don't need to hang it on your wall. You can just put it on a table or whatever. So here I am kind of like eyeballing this, which size would be the best one for the frame. You really need to cut it to get the full effect. You'll see here, I kind of place it in the frame. It looks a bit small, so I don't show it on camera, but I do end up printing a bigger size just because I feel like it could fill up the space a bit more. And I didn't really feel like adding a pattern in the back of this one. I really wanted the tiger to be the main focus. And that's what the sparrows would have looked like, but I don't know, it was too small for the details. Like, I feel like the Dremel is not as precise as a tattoo machine, so I opted out for the sparrows. And now to have access to the glass, you have to remove the backing, the little protective paper, and you gently pop out the glass. Be careful because it's very sharp and, you know, it's very easy to get cut on this thin glass. And now see how the bigger size fits perfectly now? Then I take out my stencil paper. I use the Spirit brand. I think it's like one of the best. It's the 8.5 by 11 stencil paper. And it's a struggle to fit all this stuff. Oh my god, I mean, I look like such a mess. I know my whole space looks like a mess. Listen, it's even more messy in my brain. Okay, now time to print the stencil. This stencil machine, my mom found it on Facebook Market for cheap. But because it was for cheap, it has lines that go through it. Anyway, so you just separate the yellow paper from the stencil and the white paper. You feed the yellow paper through, and then you pull it all the way like where it closes. I don't know how, it's hard to explain, but just do what you see right now. I try to measure out the design, see if there's enough space, just to minimize the stencil paper waste. Then you flip over the yellow paper. Some people just cut it off. I put it on deepness 1 because sometimes deepness 2 with the big stripes on the tiger, it just makes everything a blurry mess. And then you press on copy and it'll print out the stencil. I always hold the paper just because I don't know, I just don't want it to flop around everywhere. And there you go, the stencil is done. So you push on stop and then the paper will feed through and you can lift up the latch and take out the stencil. Separating the papers, you'll see the final result. And as you can see, the birds didn't turn out so well. It would have been a deepness 2 situation with the birds. So I just need to cut out my tiger. You can clearly see the lines that we don't want through, but it's okay. I will be able to find myself through the lines despite the big fat straight lines. It's okay. So I'm just trimming it more on the edges just so I can really find the right size and make it as central as possible. But before applying the stencil, we have to wash it down with some rubbing alcohol. This will really take off any grease on it. It's better than Windex. Here's the ASMR squeak. Now that is the sound of cleanliness. Then I let it dry a little bit because alcohol really makes stencil bleed. And here's my stencil stuff. I really don't like this brand for tattooing, so that's why I'm using it for this. It doesn't really matter. You don't need that much, but you'll see that a lot comes out. It's gross. And I'm kind of used to like trying to, I don't know why I put it on my hand. I think I was like, oh, I'll keep it for later for the other one. But then that ended up being so, I didn't end up doing the other one. So whatever. And it's really important to spread the stencil stuff evenly everywhere. No globs, because it's really going to make the stencil bleed. It sucks when it happens on skin. When it's on glass, I feel like you have to start over and you kind of have to print a new stencil. So just take your time with this step. Really apply it everywhere. Kind of let it dry also at the end. Just like not too much. It has to stay tacky. You should practice before doing. Maybe you'll need to do it multiple times. And I put it very centered in the middle. I'm kind of used to doing this, so I didn't have to redo it. It was pretty spot on first try. Don't have it slide around because then it's going to make everything blurry once again. Pat it down gently, very gently. And I even use like a box of something to press it down evenly. And then I even used the back of the frame just because I really wanted some even pressure on everything. And I was scared that like if I would push it with my fingers, it was gonna have it slid around everywhere. And it kind of already looks like good like that. It looks like an art piece. I might do that with some of my stencils that I still have. The famous stencil reveal, which I kind of didn't show you guys that well. It's kind of hard with, sometimes it's like it looks better on a dark background, sometimes on a white background. You'll see I change it up in the video. But yeah, so cute already. I'm so happy with how centered it is. And obviously the stencil never really prints perfectly. Like when you put stencil on skin, I feel like you can get a perfect stencil very easily. But on glass, there's always going to be some gaps. So you just take a Sharpie. I take a blue Sharpie because it's similar to the color of the stencil. And I just go add in with little dots just so it doesn't smudge on the places that need a little love. And there you go. I put a little sheet of white paper and now you can see it perfectly. Sometimes it looks better on a white background. Sometimes you'll see later it'll look better on a dark background. I tried taking off some of the lines that I knew I didn't need, but it's, I don't want to compromise the stencil. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to push it. I'm just going to leave it and I know what I'm doing. And once that's done, I'm going to show you some of the most important pieces of equipment to do this. Please, people, protect your eyes. Have some protective eyewear. It's very cheap, but it can save your eyeballs. If you're an artist, you know how precious your eyes are. Gloves, because you're touching glass, so be careful. It'll protect you. And a mask, because you don't want to respirate all the dust that you're going to be making. And my little engraving tool, I got it on Amazon. It's not the best, but it was one of the smallest. I didn't want something too big. Sometimes if I put it at high speed, it gets really hot and it kind of burns my hand. And we start engraving. It's so fun. It's kind of similar to tattooing, not quite, but I did a very like thin outline at first, just so that if the stencil comes off, I have something. So you can see the very thin lines. I have a very thin tip. A lot of people that I see do some engravings, they have like the ball tip. I have like a cone shaped tip. I kind of like it because it feels like it's more forgiving that way, So I go ahead, do all the stripes. I kind of do all the contouring first, and then I do like the dark parts. I just, engrave the whole thing. And it's really fun. This machine, though, it hurts my fingers more than a tattoo machine. So eventually, I don't know when, I kind of wrap it with some grip tape. The same kind that I use for tattooing. I just had some extra at home. I put that around it because the machine was getting so hot. And also the shape of it was really hurting my finger, so it kind of helped. Sorry if my head is in the way, by the way. Sometimes I just really need to get very close to my artwork. I don't know if it's my eyes, like if I need glasses, or if it's like high stakes situations, I feel like I have to be really close. Yeah, I was thinking of getting, those nail techs, they have like a little fan that like sucks up the nail dust. I think I want to get one of those for when I do this, because there's so much dust that accumulates everywhere. Like I have a paper towel, but it doesn't really get everything. I don't know how much time it took me. I feel like it took me the whole process around 2 or 3 hours. I'm not really sure. I'm a bit of a slow worker, but the more I do, the faster I'll be. Oh yeah, this is the shading part. I kind of put the Dremel at like the lowest speed, and I kind of do it like stipple shading like I do in tattooing, and it did like a pretty cool effect. It's a bit harder. I have to refine my technique, but I'm pretty happy with the result. And a lot of the lines I went back and made them thicker, just because I felt like the tiger needed to look more robust a little bit, And I really wanted it to pop in the frame. And we are done finally, guys. I'm so happy with the result. So cute. And look at the magic trick. Poof, poof. poof. Now that is a heart attack when your stencil erases like that. Imagine that if you're a tattoo artist. I'm sure it happened to you before, but this is just to clean the glass, because stencil will stain. So rubbing alcohol is really the thing that's going to help you get every little speck of stencil off. And now it's ready to go back in the frame, so I'm popping the glass back in. And then I don't know why I always put the paper that it comes with. Oh, you can see me. I don't know why. I thought it was so funny. I saw myself in the mirror and I was like, oh, hey. And then I was like, hey. Okay, so oh yeah, I was talking about the backing paper, but first I forgot. I wanted to put some black cardboard just because it would really make the engraving pop out. So I used the backing as my kind of my template. I do go back with a ruler because I felt like it looked kind of lopsided, and I measured it and it was. So I rectified it. And this is like some, to me, fancy cardboard. I don't know if it is. I just cut it out at the appropriate size with an X-Acto knife. Please, people, be careful of your thumbs. Do not chop your fingers. Always cut, like, I think you're supposed to not cut towards you, but how do you not cut towards you? Anyways, yeah, so when you cut out the piece of cardboard yourself, it's a custom shape. So it could be any shape you want, and you don't have to buy random sizes of every kind of type of color of paper, you know? It says test on it. I don't know who wrote that. I'm sorry, I didn't write that. I just saw it afterwards. And yeah, I put the paper that it came with. I don't know why. And I always do that. And then I put the backing in. Boop, boop, boop. And the grand reveal. Ta-da. So pretty. And you'll see at maybe the very end, if I add in some pictures. I did add my signature at the bottom. And here's the final reveal. It's a little tricky to take pictures of reflective surfaces like this, but I think it turned out pretty cute. Also, a little editor's note. Right now it's Friday, and no, it's Thursday night, and I'm gonna be posted tomorrow on Friday. So what you're seeing right now is my table on Thursday. It was day 1. I sold some temporary tattoos, got talking with a lot of people, and a lot of tattoo consultations. So do not miss out, because this setup is pretty rad.
Thank you so much for watching. Please come to the sidewalk sale. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be hanging out outside all day. If I'm not outside, I might be tattooing some flash inside on the 2nd floor. So thank you so much for watching. If you're here till the end, this is a secret information. If you book a tattoo during the sidewalk sale for another day, one of my flash, you'll get 10% off that flash. So don't miss out. If you were here till the end, you're the only one that knows this information. So thank you so much. I have ideas for my future videos. I think they'll be more tattoo related for now, just because I've been busy tattooing. So I think that'll be good for now, and in the future I'll do some more art stuff too. But you know, I might not do that. I might switch it up. You never know. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's all Alien Tostada for tattoos, Alien Tostada Tattoo. I'll have all my information at the end, links in the description. Please, and it's my first time saying this, so I don't know why I feel weird, but please like and subscribe. I think you're supposed to say that because it helps. So please do that. I really enjoy making videos, so it does mean a lot. Comment what I should engrave next, what design. I think my next one will be like dice with hearts, because love can be dicey. But yeah, comment other things. I have some ideas, but I want to hear what you think. Yeah, thank you. Bye.